Redrawing boundaries, India's maritime diplomacy, amidst regional tensions. India has strategically advanced its maritime interests by submitting a revised claim to the United Nations Commission on the Limits of the Continental Shelf, CLCS, seeking recognition for an additional 10,000 square kilometers of seabed in the Central Arabian Sea. This move is part of India's broader effort to extend its continental shelf beyond the 200 nautical mile Exclusive Economic Zone, EEZ, as permitted under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, provided a country can substantiate that its continental shelf extends naturally beyond this limit. Navigating the Sur Creek dispute. A significant aspect of India's revised submission involves the contentious Sur Creek area, a 96-kilometer tidal estuary in the Indus River Delta, which serves as a boundary between India's Gujarat state and Pakistan's Sindh province. The dispute centers on differing interpretations of the boundary. India advocates for the mid-channel Thalweg principle, while Pakistan claims the eastern bank as the boundary, effectively asserting control over the entire creek. This disagreement has impeded the delimitation of the maritime boundary in the Arabian Sea, as the land terminus point remains unresolved. In 2021, Pakistan objected to India's earlier continental shelf submission, citing overlaps with the disputed Sur Creek area. Consequently, the CLCS deferred consideration of India's claim. In response, India has now bifurcated its submission, separating the uncontested Central Arabian Sea region from the disputed Western offshore area, thereby facilitating the CLCS's evaluation of the former without prejudice to the ongoing bilateral dispute over Sur Creek. Strategic and economic implications. By securing recognition of its extended continental shelf, India aims to enhance its rights over the seabed and subsoil resources in the Central Arabian Sea, including the exploration and exploitation of hydrocarbons and polymetallic nodules. This expansion aligns with India's energy security objectives and its aspirations to harness marine resources for economic development. Furthermore, India's approach exemplifies a nuanced strategy to assert its maritime entitlements while mitigating potential conflicts. By isolating the non-disputed areas in its submission, India underscores its commitment to resolving contentious issues through bilateral dialogue in accordance with the Simla Agreement, which stipulates that disputes between India and Pakistan should be settled bilaterally without third-party intervention. Regional dynamics and future outlook. India's maritime boundary negotiations are not limited to Pakistan. In the Bay of Bengal, India has faced challenges from Myanmar and Sri Lanka regarding its continental shelf claims. However, India has successfully resolved maritime boundaries with several neighbors, including Bangladesh, through international arbitration, and with Sri Lanka and the Maldives via bilateral agreements. As the CLCS continues to assess India's revised submission, the outcome will have significant implications for regional maritime governance and resource allocation. India's proactive engagement with international legal frameworks and its emphasis on scientific substantiation of claims reflect its broader commitment to upholding the rule of law in maritime affairs. Note, this analysis is based on information available up to April 2025 and may be subject to change as new developments occur.